Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is July 4th, 2024, and Javier Tebas has shared some good news in regards to Barcelona's financial fair play. Also, Jaden Philogene's agent has shared pictures of him at the offices of FC Barcelona. And finally, gonna tell you about the situation of both Joaos. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I'm bringing you this short live stream to keep you up to date on all the Barcelona news. I'm still out of town so I cannot edit and upload videos, so this is why I'm doing this short live stream. This is not a podcast, so it's not going to be long. And I'm also not going to be addressing the chat section. I did do a podcast yesterday. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. And of course, we'll have our regularly scheduled podcast tomorrow, Friday, July 5th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Having said all that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the Kit Bag. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links for Kit Bag and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now, let's begin with the news because La Liga's president, Javier Tebas, who seems to be acting also as Barcelona's vice president of finance, because every time he has a mic in front of him or a camera in front of him, he has to talk about Barcelona's economy. And while this time it was no different, where Tebas has spoken about Barcelona's capability to sign players this summer, more specifically regarding their financial fair play. And for the first time in a very long time, Javier Tebas actually shared very good news with the reporters when he confirmed that Barcelona will be able to sign this summer without the hardships that they have faced in past summers. Now, this is what the La Liga president had to say. This year, out of all the previous years, is the most favorable for Barcelona. They understand what needs to be done to bring in new players. They are well versed in financial fair play. They are gradually recovering from their economic challenges, and we will see if they can address the remaining issues to make the significant signings they are aiming for. So again, this year, out of all the previous years, is the most favorable for Barcelona. So Javier Tebas confirming that Barcelona will be having a much easier time to sign players during this summer transfer market. Of course, this is thanks to all the work that Joan Laporta and his board of directors have been doing, such as cutting expenses, increasing the revenues of the club through new sponsorship deals. There's the Nike deal that's close to be done. There's the Barca Vision deal that's close to be done. So all this work that Joan Laporta and his board have been doing will make this summer one of the easiest summers in many, many seasons that Barcelona will have as far as signing players. And this is not me telling you this. This is La Liga's president himself saying this. So you can take his word and know that Barcelona will have an easier summer during this summer transfer market, where Barcelona will be looking to reinforce the midfield and, of course, the left wing, with the number one priority being Nico Williams. Now, Javier Tebas did acknowledge the good work that Laporta and his board of directors are doing when he said the following. There's a crucial point to note. 3 years ago, Barcelona had a first-team salary budget of 650 million, which has now decreased to 450 million, a reduction of 200 million. That's a typo by Mundo Deportivo, but it's a 200 million euro reduction in the salary bill or the wage bill. This puts them in a more sustainable position for a club like Barcelona. They are now on par with Real Madrid in terms of salaries, but Real Madrid has been managing their finances effectively for years, allowing them to make new signings. So Javier Tebas acknowledging the good work that Laporta and the board have done in reducing the wage bill, where when they first took over, Barcelona's wage bill was at 650 million. They brought it down to 450 million. That's a 200 million euro reduction. That's a very, very, very big number and very hard to accomplish in such a short time. And Barcelona board, of course, will look to continue reducing this wage bill, which, thanks to Bartomeu, at one point stood at 900 million. Can you imagine how badly the club was managed under Bartomeu, where at one point our wage bill was at 900 million? That is insane. No wonder why the club was in such a financial chaos when Laporta became president, but thankfully he has been able to reverse course, and we are slowly getting out of this huge mess that Bartomeu put us in. Now, more news because Jaden Philogene's agent shared pictures on his social media, on his Instagram to be more specific, of him outside the Barcelona offices. Now, as you know by now, Barcelona are interested in signing the English left winger as someone who could either be a signing in place of Nico Williams in case Barcelona cannot sign Nico Williams. But even if Barcelona can sign Williams, then Jaden Philogene will still be signed to be kind of that rotational player with both Williams and Lamine Yamal. He can kind of play on both wings. And as such, Barcelona have made an official offer to Hull City, which is where Jaden Philogene is currently at, for a one-season loan with an option to buy worth 20 to 23 million euros. That would be automatically triggered if the player meets certain metrics, including playing time. So in other words, if Jaden Philogene comes, he does great, then that option to buy would be automatically triggered, versus if he comes, he flops, would return to Hull City. Well, amid all the speculation of Jaden Philogene and interest by Barcelona, his agent, Ibo Camacho, posted the following picture. I'll make it a little bit bigger, of him standing outside the Barcelona offices, which of course fueled a lot of talks on the media, talking about how Barcelona are meeting with the agent in order to complete the signing. But Barcelona have confirmed that this meeting did not happen. In fact, not only did the meeting did not happen, but this was a picture from a month ago. So the agent posted a picture of himself outside the Barcelona offices from a month ago. Most likely he's doing this as a strategy just to kind of increase the price of the player, probably to put more pressure on the other clubs that are interested in Philogene, such as Everton, West Ham, and Ipswich Town. So what can I say? Next time I'm in Barcelona, I'm going to wear a suit. I'm going to take a picture outside the Barcelona offices, and I'm going to post on the page, be like, hey, guys, I'm now the president of Barcelona. Sad attempt, but what can we do? This is where we at now with agents. Anyways, more news because we do have to talk about the Joaos. Speaking of signings, the Joaos, Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo, where do they stand, and whether Barcelona are closer to signing them or whether they are closer to leaving the club. Now let's start talking about Joao Felix, who Barcelona had began negotiations with Atletico de Madrid to see if they can sign the Portuguese player. It seems that Barcelona's interest is to keep Joao Felix for another season on loan. They're not looking to make the big spending on him for a permanent transfer because Barcelona do not consider Joao Felix a priority. And it also, him coming to Barcelona on loan is tied to what's going to happen with Ansu Fati. If Ansu Fati stays, it's going to be less likely than Barcelona will try to sign Felix on loan. But if Ansu Fati leaves, then it's going to be more likely that Barcelona will push for a loan. But again, it's only going to be a loan because Barcelona don't consider Joao Felix a priority, and therefore they're not making to look a big spending on him. Now, as I reported in a previous video, Benfica are currently negotiating with Atletico Madrid. They want to bring back Joao Felix. Looks like Joao Felix has given his agent the blessing to negotiate with Benfica, so he wouldn't mind going back to Portugal. Of course, he prefers to stay in Barcelona, but he doesn't mind going to Benfica because he cannot wait for Barcelona forever. Now, the second player is, of course, Joao Cancelo, who does not want to go back to Manchester City. Manchester City do not want him back at the club. Therefore, it's going to be a permanent transfer this summer. Barcelona also want a loan. They're not looking to spend the 30-40 million that Manchester City are asking for him. And it's being reported that Inter Milan have now joined the race for Joao Cancelo. Of course, Cancelo did spend a season on loan in Inter Milan back when he was a Valencia player. It was actually one of his best seasons of his career. So Inter Milan would like to sign him this summer. And of course, time is a friend of Barcelona when it comes to both Joaos, because the more time goes on, the more the players are going to get desperate because they want to know where their future lies. They want to know where they're going to be playing next season. And also their current clubs are going to get desperate because neither Atletico Madrid nor Manchester City want the Joaos. So the more time passes by, the more it's going to be favorable for Barcelona. And it's reported that Barcelona, again, don't consider any of these players a priority. Therefore, they're not going to make any crazy moves. They're not going to look to push. They're not going to offer money. They're just going to sit back, wait, see what happens. If both Joaos get signed by other clubs, oh well, so be it. If not, then Barcelona will try to sign him towards the end of the market when both the clubs, their current clubs, get desperate. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I'm going to go live as soon as I end this one because there's more news. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, peace, Barça.